Very dear brothers and sisters, okay, first of all I would like to let you know that if I'm doing these videos, it's not because I want to be totally against the federal government, but they have done something to me that I've never and I've never forgiven, it's all in my body, in my mind, in my head. I just want the federal to take their own responsibilities in order for them to take a little part out of my head. They must react and quickly. Okay, so I thank you so much for acting now. Okay, I just want to tell you that I am extremely disappointed of the federal government. As I was saying the first time when I started this video, it's not because I am against the federal government. It's not because I am part of Anonymous. It's not because I am an anarchist. It's not because I'm talking against Mr. Trudeau. It's not because I'm talking against the Liberal federal government. And it's not because I'm talking against all members of parliament in Ottawa that makes me a criminal. To be a criminal, you have to have it, but I don't have it, okay? I will never be a criminal in my life. Even if they took me to criminal court, the Metropolis did that, in the Criminal Code of Canada, it says you are always innocent until proven otherwise. But in my case, it was not like that. They didn't even have an affidavit when they come to my place and arrest me, okay? So how come? Why did they come without affidavit to arrest me and take me up to the criminal? This is my main question that I don't have the answer so far. Okay, I'm watching a lot of police series on the TV, and they all need an affidavit to arrest someone for what they're doing. Okay, but in my case there was no affidavit. The Metropolitan only did upon their idea that they had in mind, even with the Children Aid Society of Ottawa. Okay, well, also the Ministry of Justice in Ontario, or the Premier, that was Kathleen Vine at that time. No one would have taken care of taking their own responsibilities, because they knew that it was going to cost money, so they said, we're going to put it aside. Okay, we will never reply. We will never do shit fuck all, okay, to help that guy. Well, myself, Mr. Sajjan, the last letter you sent me, well, I totally disagree with that letter, because if you want to close a file, if you want to close someone's file, well, both cases must agree with that, okay? But you did agree, but I've never agreed with that, okay? Mr. Sajjan, so you were wrong telling me that my case was closed, because my case has never been closed so far. Okay, my case is still on the road right now. I am still talking against you, Mr. Sajjan, and I will never talk. I will also talk to you against you while, if you ever get in the official opposition, you can be sure that I would talk against you, Mr. Sajjan, because you do not deserve to be where you're at right now. I'm just hoping that people will realize how wrong you could be, okay? How wrong you'll be. How come you can be, okay? I'm extremely sorry, but it is the truth, and I'm always telling the truth to anyone who wants to hear. Mr. Sajjan, again, you went in your own country. Did you use our fund to go to your own country, visit your friends there, or your family there? Well, I gotta tell you that if you have used our own money, it's also a scandal that must be fixed very quickly before the election. Otherwise, this will follow you until the next election. For the people in your riding, Mr. Sajjan, I'm just hoping that they keep in mind that you have done that to us, because we are the one who was paying big price at the end because of our income tax. You know, we have to pay income tax in order to have our country running well. But the way it is right now, it is not running well at all, because Mr. Justin Trudeau keep giving our money. As soon as he gets money in the Treasury Board, well, he decides to take that money and give it to the Muslims, which is a very bad plan. Mr. Trudeau, you know, you're totally wrong doing that, you know. I don't agree with that at all. And many people of Canada don't agree with what you're doing right now. I'm not the only one talking like that, Mr. Trudeau, because everyone I see on the street, they're always talking against you, Mr. Trudeau. And it is a fact, because for what you're doing at Ottawa, it does not represent us at all. It is very bad, you know. It is a very bad mood that you have managing our country. We're just wishing that we're going to get a new government, and that new prime minister will act differently than you are, Mr. Trudeau, because the way you are managing our country is very bad so far, and all your ministers under you are exactly doing the same fucking crap. They like licking your ass, Mr. Trudeau. It is very bad to say that, but you know, there is only one way to say it, and this is the way I'm saying it right now. You know, even though we see our government, you know, it is extremely wrong to say that we're doing good here in Canada, because even other countries are telling us that we are doing bad. We are being seen very bad from other countries, because if they take a look at our government, we have 4 fucking Muslims in our government, and people from other countries are saying that, okay, we cannot manage our own country, we need people from outside of Canada to run our country, which is extremely bad, because before we were having a government without turbans, and they were running our country very well, but now they're running very bad, because you know, the Minister of Immigration, Mr. Ahmed, is not from Canada, he's from Kuwait, if I'm not mistaken. And the guy is only preaching for Muslims to come in Canada, because you know, that guy should do the exact right things in Canada, but he isn't, you know. He's only preaching for Muslims to come in Canada, as I was saying, and I will always keep saying that all the time, because the Minister of Immigration of Canada is not a good man to be there. There should have been a real Canadian there, okay, not a false Canadian. I called Muslims here in Canada that have their Canadian citizenship false Canadian, because they don't have a Canadian birth certificate, even though Omar Khadr has one. Well, because he was born in Canada, that's the reason why he has it. But he's not a real Canadian, because a real Canadian would not go to the federal and ask for $10.5 million, or even if it is the idea of Mr. Trudeau giving him $10.5 million. You know, it's very bad. Also, it is very bad for Omar Khadr to have accepted it, because you know, all that money came from our income tax. I don't know if Omar Khadr has put money in our economy, and I can't say if he did or not, but I can tell you right now, being a Canadian myself, you know, or any other Canadians would have not accepted what Mr. Trudeau gave to him. But you know, just the fact that he took him out of Guantanamo should have been enough, but it was not enough for Mr. Trudeau, because he also gave him apologize from Canada, which is very bad, because all the Canadian citizenship were totally against what Mr. Trudeau have done, all in total, okay? Because Mr. Trudeau, the fact that he gave him that amount of money, well, it looks very bad for the Canada from other countries, because you know, I keep saying that the Trudeau's government, Mr. Trudeau's government, is corrupt, and he does a lot of collusion. So thank you so much for regarding me, and there will be a next video. Okay, bye.